But the guardians had taught us a particular frequency thing to do, a technique that is the beginning part of the wind of the breath technique. And when Irma was coming up, and my girls and her friends over here were they did this because we were on the phone. The guardian is saying, "Here, tell them do this." They did this together and like linked hands and did the breathing together. So I'll just give you the beginning of this because there's more detail to it that will require some diagrams that we're working on for this weekend. But it is the beginning part of the wind of the breath, and there's a few people out there who already know it that have, know us like personally, and we said, "Here, do this and this," and that begins the process. So I will show you that, and I will leave with that today, and then come back over the weekend. But the base process is we've talked about in the postings, the 5th anniversary note postings of 2016, some of which are extremely detailed with new information. We talked about the domain passage sets and passages blend merger. And if you don't know what that is, you can look that information up on our website. It is, it is in the, especially, I think it's part 4 of the 5th anniversary note postings. That was from December 16th, 2016. So you can look up these references if you don't have them, if you have not heard of this before. So the beginning part of the wind of the breath technique, it's the process of on your personal level and your personal anatomy. And this would be the beginning parts of urea body activation, true body and urea body activation. In very simple terms, before we have the diagrams to show you and all of that, just imagine that you have 2 chambers of energy that run horizontally. You have one chamber, it's really wide, like a big tube, that runs down this way, and another one that runs down here. So one is on the right side and one is on the left side. The one tube that comes down on the right side is called the transposition passage, and the one that comes down on the left side is called the emancipation passage. The particular breathing, we can bring those passages together where they overlap. And in the place where they overlap, they combine the frequencies of energy that are in each. The transposition passage on the right side carries essential essence to the aqua essence. And on the left side, the emancipation passage carries the 3 quintessences. Those references are also in that part 4 posting that I mentioned on our website. When you bring them together, they form what's called Elumen'air. Now we will look at this more closely when we get into KDDL3 and also in KDDL4. But for now, if you can just remember, you have 2 passages, 2 chambers, but they're passages, they refer to them as. The transposition passage actually corresponds to the universal M33 triangulum passage, and the emancipation passage corresponds to the M31 Andromeda galaxy emancipation passage. When we do a particular breathing technique and bring them in together, it begins to create Elumen'air within our own bodies. The Elumen'air is referred to as the wind of the breath. And when we exhale it, after we create it through inhaling, we spread it back out through our plasma bodies, and that begins the progressive, very accelerated activations of Elumen'air within the plasma body. There's more to this technique, but we'll have it like written down, and we'll show you diagrams. But for now, if you can just remember, you have 2 chambers, transposition passage. You can picture that one as a blue color. Emancipation passage on the left, you can picture that as a pink color. So blue on the right, pink on the left. And first, you empty your lungs, being aware of those 2 passages, and then bring your attention to right below where the breastbone stops, which is the heart of Ephema point. And you're going to inhale, and when you inhale, you're going to inhale into that point. And when you inhale, you're going to bring together those 2 chambers briefly. So, just take the 2 chambers, go. So you're inhaling into here, and it's pulling those 2 chambers together. and then hold for as long as you can, because the longer you hold the chambers together, the more Elumen'air builds. Don't make yourself pass out, though. That's not needed. And then when you feel, you need to breathe. Exhale. And as you exhale, just allow that Elumen'air that was formed when those two passages came together to spread through your entire plasma body. Just get the feel for breathing like that, because when we come back over the weekend of December 1st through 3rd, we'll take it to the next step. We will learn about what are called the lattice spheres. There are 3 lattice spheres within our urea body anatomy, and we'll begin to activate the lattice spheres. And the beginning part of that is beginning to feel how that movement works. So inhale, bring the pillars together, hold at the top of the inhale, create Elumen'air, and create Elumen'air, and create Elumen'air, and create Elumen'air as long as you can. And then exhale, the pillars go back out, and the Elumen'air spreads into your plasma body. If you play with this, you might be surprised at how hot, first of all, the frequency gets, and also how strong. It was that technique used in a group, just that much. All they had taught us was to do the 2 pillars, to bring the 2 pillars together, create the Elumen'air, spread out through the plasma body, and then link hands when the group did it that were here when Irma was coming over. And they said it was very, very powerful. And we were really spared. This whole area was pretty much very well spared. There's a reason for that too, that did have a little bit to do with the Guardians' intervention, but before it got here. But this technique, if you begin with the wind of the breath, this is just part 1 of the wind of the breath technique. There's more parts to it, that by the end of KDDL3, we will have the whole thing. This is the beginning place to start. And even though I don't have the diagrams up yet or anything, we're still working on them. I wanted to share that with you just verbally and just, quick demonstration so you can start to play with that, because it's really, really strong frequency and it's very protective as well. So you can use the beginning part 1 of the wind of the breath. Bring those pillars together, make Elumen'air, and push them out just in a big bubble around yourself. If you feel frightened or threatened or anything, you can use these technologies to create what's called the Great Protector Field around you, which is the Aqua Essence Great Protector Field, the essence number 2. But it can also help you to calm yourself. Like if you're upset with anything or scared or angry or whatever, you can breathe your pillars together, hold, let the Elumen'air build. And Elumen'air is like building peace, building love, building harmony, building safety. And let it go. And the love, peace, harmony, safety comes through your field. And when you put that frequency of peace and good things and love into your field, it will help attract those things and detract their opposites. So this technique seems very simple at first, and it is, but it's also very powerful. And I wanted to share that with you, even though we don't have all the diagrams done yet or anything, just because we've had really good results with it. And again, this is all theoretical information from the Guardians, and it's not meant to diagnose or treat any type of illnesses or anything like that. But I wanted to share it with you. So I think this is enough for our briefing, and it's just so nice to be back